Mark Kayser is in northwest South Dakota, an unconventional pronghorn hunt with Dakota Ranch Outfitters. Mark has been close twice. His confidence is starting to fade.
It was frustrating. It was frustrating not only for me because the strategy wasn't working right off the bat, but it was also frustrating for Rick because, honest to gosh, Rick has had this thing work every time on the first day of the hunt.
In this kind of hunting, patience is a big factor. If it takes an hour to get that goat comfortable or that antelope comfortable, that's what you got to do. You can spend a half an hour getting in on him, and if you're not patient enough and slow down, you could have wasted that half hour if you go in too fast.
It was not an easy thing to sit and just sit down and say, hey, it's gonna work out. Because things so far just were not coming together. But you know what? That's hunting. And you just gotta look at it and say, sooner or later, it is gonna click.
Okay, out of all the antelope that are down there, Mark, there must be 30 or so. They're all small bucks, just stinks. So I think we best go back up the creek and see what we can find up there.
Don't you think we should leave some minerals here so they grow up, or?
Well, another year or two, I think they'll do good on their own.
Hey, that winter was hard on them.
Yeah, it was. It knocked all the old bucks and the old does off and all the young ones too. So we just got this middle sector that's left here now.
Well, that's nature. So
yeah, Mother Nature. Yeah.
Well, let's head back over that other spot, and that buck we were on yesterday, he didn't know anything what was going on.
No, exactly. Yeah, let's go get him.
Okay. I know Rick was trying to keep my hopes boosted that this was gonna work. In fact, I kind of thought maybe we should just, cash it in. We've tried our hardest. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Off in the distance, there I see the white spot of a pronghorn. He was bedded alone with cattle. Whew, everything looked good. Now my hopes come up a little bit, but I've been there before, so I didn't get too excited. We took off, plodding across the prairie. First we got within 150 yards, then down to 106, and then I got to feeling pretty good. Things were gonna happen. We knocked it down to 60, and I nudged Rick a little further. I said, cut it down even further. And he said, how about 50? I said, just keep going. Got to 50, the buck was still laying there chewing his cud.
You could tell, we started moving in on him, he'd stop chewing his cud, so then I'd stop. And once he started chewing his cud again and getting comfortable with us, then we just started moving in again, and that's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work.
So what did Mark say? Let's push it a little further. Well, Rick wasn't quite up for that. He did take a few more steps, got us into 45 yards. I felt confident about that. I've been shooting well out to close to 60 yards. That's about my confidence zone. Settled down for the shot, ranged it again. He's 45, 46 yards.
He's still comfortable. He's chewing his cud.
Okay.
Just take your time. Just over him, Mark.
Now, to say I was bummed would be putting it pretty mildly. I was more than bummed. I was about in a state of depression where they were gonna have to call the ambulance. I just put the new IQ bow sight on my Matthews Reason, and I'm impressed. This is kind of a unique new system. Now what it has over other bows is what's called a retina lock design, and it gives you tunnel vision. Above your pin, it has a bezel, and inside that bezel is a magnifying lens with a green color to it. When that bezeled lens glows green and you can see a black dot perfectly centered, it's time to cut loose the arrow. Now what does that do? It gives you torque-free shooting, and torque is a big problem with many archers. And torque is where you grab onto the bow grip just a little too tight and twist the bow one way or another. That little twist can throw a shot a long way. Another great thing about this sight is the fact that you don't have to have a peep. A lot of you old-time archers may not like a peep sight on there. This will eliminate any of that. Now this bow sight is tough. It's made of aircraft-grade aluminum and it's lightweight. Plus, it has the tight stack pin system. That helps you if you're shooting one of these fast bows that zip along at 300 feet per second or more. You can get the pins a lot closer, a lot tighter to make sure you're dead on at those longer ranges. One thing's for sure, I'm shooting a lot better with the IQ bow sight. I just hope I can find a better buck to end my season.
Extreme Pursuits is brought to you by Polaris. See the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles now at your local dealer. Hunter's Specialties, for sportsmen, by sportsmen. Real Avid, true to the core. Nikon, the trusted name in optics. Truck Vault, manufacturers of the world's finest in vehicle secure storage systems. And by these other fine sponsors.